Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be doing an awesome deck update of my Earthbound Immortal deck. Now, this deck is actually a really fun deck that I have profiled in the past, and I've played it for many years in different variations, even before the support initially came out about a year or so ago. And I wanted to update the deck because it's been a while, and while I was updating this deck, I noticed something. There's not a lot of people out there who have revisited Earthbound Immortals over the course of the last year or so. The last 2 years almost. Probably because Malicious was a really good integral part of the deck, and that got hit to 2 of. Malicious could have been used for tribute fodder and synchro fodder, which was really awesome. And if you ask me, what is the deck missing? I feel like the deck is decent and good and playable at locals for fun, but I feel like it's just missing something, and it's missing a consistency type of card. Maybe something that can be used to bring out the field spell easier, which would be awesome. A terraforming-esque searcher, or something that allows you to search out anything that has Earthbound in its name. I don't think that would really affect any other cards I can think of that are broken off the top of my head. So I think something like that would be useful, kind of a card of that nature, kind of like maybe a something of that adds consistency to the deck is much needed. Maybe some tribute fodder-esque cards as well. I feel like it's just missing 1 or 2 cards, and it'll be a pretty decent deck, I think, overall, that can take on a lot of other rogue fun decks at locals. But hopefully we'll get it eventually. I think we will. I just don't know when that's going to be. That could be years from now. But without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. So it's up to you to decide what you want to run for your Earthbound Immortals when it comes to them. I like running different variations. Pokapakapoo, the Whale, which is Chakachalua, Yura, which is kind of like Mind Control, and a Celepiscu, which is pretty decent one overall, I feel like. But depending upon what you want to run, a lot of people just run a Pokapakapoo because it's big attack. I like the different ones for different reasons. This can do burn, this is big boy, this is Mind Control type of card. This card's pretty decent, gets you overall. And I love the artwork, by the way. But there's different. You can run different ratios. I'd say, though, no matter what you do not run more than 4 Earthbound Immortals max. Do not run more of them, though. And you can run. People are like, oh, run this one, that one. It's up to you. It's player preference. Different people run them for different reasons, I feel like. Next, we run 3 Earthbound Greater Line Walker. This card's awesome in the lore of things. I have to admit to that. This card's really useful for different applications in the deck with your Earthbound Immortals. There used to be some crazy combos you could do with him years ago, but I don't know how consistent those are nowadays. They really involve a lot of synchro spamming, which this deck can still do, but not on the consistency level it used to be able to. But still, great 3-of in the deck. I'm going to go through this deck a little bit faster because there's a lot of 3-ofs that people know what they do. Next, we run 3 Ascator Dawnwalker. We run as a 3-of, and we run 3 Supe Duskwalker, which I love the artwork of Supe. It just looks so whoever did this artwork did a very good job. I have to admit, it looks so professionally done and just aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and the artwork and everything. And the lore of it, just like how if you actually look at how they incorporated Supe and Ascator into the artworks of the card, and kind of there must be some mythology behind it, but I do not know all of that off the top of my head. But pretty much these are going to help you bring out your Sun and Moon Dragon the most easiest ways, because with Supe you're going to be bringing out your Face Guy Tuner, which is Supe, which we run as a 2-of in the deck. With Dawnwalker, you're going to be bringing out your Fire Ant Ascator, which you run as a 2-of in the deck. Some people run multiples of these, and I understand why, but I personally feel like you just need to run 2 of them a piece. 3-of is a little bit too clunky. It gets too bricky. I don't like that. These are going to really help you go for your Sun and your Sun and Moon Dragon, as you guys know them by. So these are going to help you go for your Moon Dragon Quila and your Sun Dragon Inti over here. So they're going to help you go for these using the Line Walkers and Supe and the Fire Ants. So that's what they're going to help you go into for this deck, which is awesome because they can rotate in and out just like they did in the anime, which is really cool. And it's fairly easy to set these up. The benefit of this too as well is you can discard one card just to get this card out into the field, which is awesome. And depending upon the card you discard, be it a Malicious, a Plague Spreader, or some other card, it could set up for some other plays in the deck, which is really awesome. So definitely staple 3 ofs along with their tuners in the deck. Next up, we run 1 Oracle of the Sun. This card's kind of like a Cyber Dragon for the deck, and I just like it as a 1 of in the deck. It's a pretty useful card. Back before we got the new support, this was actually probably a 3 of in the deck, but nowadays it's just a good 1 of to have as a staple in the deck overall. So just a 1 of the Sun Oracle. Next, we run 2 Mali. I'm waiting for the day we put this back at 3 of, but I know Konami's not going to want to do that anytime soon. 2 Malicious, that's going to help you go for synchro plays and also can be used as tribute fodder. Same thing with Plague Spreader Zombie. This is going to be used as tribute fodder as well as it can help you go for synchro plays. So they have versatility in the deck. You know, it's not just like we're using with Teledad where you're kind of, and other different builds throughout the years where you're just synchro. No, they can be used as tribute fodder as well, which is awesome because they can come back. So, or bring them out of the deck. So that's cool. Next, we run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. I want some hand trap negation in this deck. You can run Infinite Impermanence too if you wish, but there's space issues. It's the main reason why. Like I said, we get more consistency cards that may change. You can run other cards in the deck because of that reason. But Ash Blossom is generic. It's going to hit every deck. It's going to slow them down a little bit, and you need something in this deck for negation wise because you don't have a lot of negation, be it effect negation, etc. So 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs to stop hand trap stuff and drawing and searching. 3 Fires, a double Fire of Doomsday. This is a very useful card, but you have to use it properly. If you guys don't know what this card does, I'll read it to you. Special summon 2 Doomsday tokens in defense position. These tokens can't be used for tribute summoning unless it's for a dark monster. You can use this. You can't summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can normal/set. So you can use this on your end of your opponent's turn, so you don't have to worry about those other effects, and then go off with this. The other thing also, this is going to help you bring out your big Earthbound Immortals, which is nice as well, because guess what? They are all darks, which is awesome. So I like this as just a 2 of in the deck. It's really nice. We have 2 Mausoleum of the Emperor. This is just a staple 2 of in this deck overall. I feel like because it's going to help you get off the tributes. We also run 2 Earthbound Geoglyph. This is a good 2 of to run in this deck. And you're going to see a lot of, because Terraforming got hit, you're going to see a lot of different cards going around because Geoglyph is so good, but it doesn't add the consistency that Mausoleum does for bringing out tributes, sadly. But alas, you want to run these as 2 ofs each. And some people run Mound of the Bound Creator. That is something you can run, but that's up to you. For space reasons, I wanted to run other cards. So that's why, but these are, I feel like, the most integral. Mound is good only if you're able to get your monster out, your big Earthbound out. It doesn't help you get to it, which this is going to help you get to it, and this is going to help you propel yourself once you get going. Mound is just there for protection. So that's up to you how you want to go down that route. 1 Terraforming, staple. 1 set rotation is a necessary in this deck. I definitely feel that. We also run even Metaverse as well, but Terraforming and set rotation is a staple in this deck as well. So that's kind of some of the stuff you use for field spells, along with Metaverse, which we'll talk about in a second. But that's for your field spells there when it comes to spells. 1 Earthbound Revival. This is just a good 1 of. It helps recuperate an Earthbound monster from your graveyard as well as a field spell. So I like it as a 1 of. It does take setup, but it's great. It's great to have in this deck. 1 Upstart Goblin. Give me a little bit of consistency, please. It makes it a 39 card deck. I don't care about giving you life points because I'm bringing out big monsters. 1 Foolish Burial. There's different cards you can send into graveyard to set up for certain combo plays. Deck thins as well. Definitely a staple 1 of. 1 Monster Reborn in this deck. It's a staple. It's a hands-down staple because you're a combo-oriented deck and you can bring things back to do different things. So definitely Monster Reborn is a staple in this deck. For your traps, you run 3. 1 Metaverse. This is because of your field spells. And then 2 Earthbound Wave. This card's really awesome. It's pretty much like a solemn judgment, actually, in some regards, when it comes to Earthbound Immortals. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card, while you control an Earthbound Immortal, you can negate that effect. So it's very nice to have. It's kind of like I said, a solemn judgment-esque card, and it's pretty easy to get that, Earthbound Immortal out into the field. So I feel comfortable with running this card as a 2-of in this deck. It does take some setup, but it's a great negation to have on this board, and the deck really needs that. So you can run this, or maybe you want to, run some other negation cards, but this is very useful, especially against spell and trap deck oriented stuff. Next, let's get into the extra deck. First, we run our 2 Earthbound Immortal tokens. I have had these since the 5Ds era, so I always keep them in this deck. So 2 Earthbound Immortal tokens, definitely a staple. Even though they're tokens. I pretty much use these for Fire of Doomsdays, by the way, just so you know. But 1 Borrelord Savage Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to read upside down. 1 F.A. Dawn Dragster, which is a great card to have. These are pretty much your basic level 7-esque cards in this deck. For your level 8s, which you run a good amount of, we run Void Ogre Dragon, which is very easy to go for. We also run Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, which is pretty much a staple in this deck, I feel like. We also run BLs. Very good in this deck, very easy to go for. I also run 1 Psyframe Omega. I feel like it's very useful in this deck in some regards and very good, so I still like it. I also run 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I had the space, I decided to run him. You can run other things if you wish, though. For your other cards in this deck, we run 1 double Sun Dragon Inti, so 2 of him, and 2 Moon Dragon, Quilof. So we run 2 of each Sun and Moon Dragon. For your links, we're going to run 1 Crystron Hauki Fibrax, definitely a staple 1 of. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. I find that Cerberus is not as useful in this deck because you're bringing out big monsters that can beat over anything, but back row can be a pain, so Cerberus, we ran Phoenix. And 1 Unicorn for spinning things back, which sometimes you can go for, and it's pretty decent. I also decided to run this other token as well, but I mainly use the other ones in this deck. So, hope you guys all enjoy this video. Like I said, I absolutely love this deck to death. It's such a fun deck, and I love the fact that they gave support to it, and I'm hoping they give a little bit more support in, overall in the long run, because I don't think it needs that much. Like I said, it just needs 1 or 2 cards, and the deck's going to be pretty decent, I think, overall. And eventually, I think it will get it, but the $1,000,000 question is, when is it going to get it? And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, this is a synchro-based deck that has to go for tributes to do certain things. I find overall that's pretty consistent at what it does, but it just needs some more consistency overall. But hopefully this deck profile was helpful. I know there hasn't been a lot of updates with people doing this because they haven't really explored it, because there's nothing new that's come out. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling to all of you. Hope you enjoy this deck profile, and remember, guys, to rev it up and always have a good time dueling. See you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.